Okay, let's dive right in. We usually think of conflict in terms of land or resources, maybe even data these days. But today, we're going to explore a completely different kind of war. It's one that's fought invisibly for what might just be the most valuable territory of all.
So I'll ask you directly, what is it? What's the most valuable territory in our modern world? It's not a physical place, it's not a country, it's not even cyberspace. This question, right here, is really the heart of what we're digging into today.
And there it is. Some fascinating research is now suggesting that our very thoughts, our consciousness, might actually have a physical electromagnetic nature. And this specific frequency range is being looked at as the actual landscape of the human mind. So in this new world we're in, that landscape has become the ultimate prize.
Which brings us to our first big idea. We're going to frame this whole thing as a modern invisible war, where the front lines, well, they're inside every single one of us.
This quote from Dr. Robert Epstein, a Harvard-trained psychologist, just hits the nail on the head, doesn't it? It's not really about controlling the tools anymore, the apps, the software. It's about controlling the person using them. The ultimate prize is to basically own the operating system of human thought itself.
So let's put a name to it. Consciousness dominance. You got to think of this as a huge paradigm shift. The new global power struggle isn't for physical territory, it's for the real estate between your ears. It's about having the power to shape what you see, direct what you pay attention to, and ultimately, to manufacture what you believe. And if you want to understand just how powerful the players are, just look at these numbers from a couple years back. I mean, in 2021, Apple's market cap was bigger than the GDP of 96% of the world's countries. It surpassed entire nations like Italy and Russia. That's not just economic power, that's geopolitical power. So what this really points to is a new kind of world order. These massive corporations aren't just companies anymore. They're basically non-state actors that can influence global economies, the flow of information, and public opinion on a scale that can actually exceed traditional governments.
All right, so if this is a battle, how is it actually being fought? Let's get into our next section and look at the specific tools, the digital arsenal, if you will, that are being used in this fight for consciousness dominance. The engine that drives this whole conflict has a name: surveillance capitalism. It's a term coined by Harvard professor Shoshana Zuboff, and it basically describes an economy that's built not on selling us products, but on mining the raw material of our human experience to create prediction products that can forecast and eventually shape our behavior.
Now, one of the most powerful weapons in this arsenal is something Dr. Epstein calls the search engine manipulation effect, or SEM. It's actually shockingly simple. Just by reordering search results to favor one candidate or one viewpoint, you can shift opinions dramatically. But here's the kicker, the most powerful part. It's invisible. In studies, nearly 9 out of 10 people have no idea it's happening. They think they came to their own conclusions all by themselves. An SME is just one tool in a massive toolkit. You've got dark patterns and apps designed to trick you into doing things you didn't want to do. You've got hidden data collection. And of course, you have algorithms that have learned that outrage and division are great ways to keep us scrolling. It all works together to kind of nudge and hurt us in certain directions.
And what this all leads to is a pretty fundamental shift in the whole game. See, it's no longer enough to just predict what you're going to do next. The real goal is to ensure you do what they want you to do, whether that's buying a certain product or adopting a specific belief. You could say it's a direct intervention into our free will.
But this battle for our minds isn't just happening on our screens. There's another layer to this conflict that some are talking about, one that's way more physical, more environmental. It's a battle fought with the invisible frequencies that are all around us, every single day.
And right here, you can see this incredible contrast. On one side, you have the theory of the Earth's natural rhythm. It's called the Schumann resonance, and it vibrates at about 7.83 hertz. Some believe this frequency aligns perfectly with our brain's alpha-theta states. You know, that feeling of calm, creative flow. And on the other side, well, you have our modern world. A constant storm of high-frequency fields from Wi-Fi, cell phones, all our gadgets, creating this kind of electromagnetic smog. So the hypothesis here is that this technological noise isn't just noise. It's thought to actually interfere with our biology, maybe by disrupting what some researchers are calling our DNA fractal antennae. Now, this is a theoretical concept, but the idea is that our DNA can act like an antenna designed to receive information from the planet's natural frequencies. Let's just focus on this number for a second. 7.83 hertz. It's not just some random frequency, it's often called the Earth's heartbeat. And the idea is that this is a foundational rhythm for all life on our planet, and staying in sync with it could be really, really important for our well-being.
So, if we're facing both digital manipulation and this environmental interference, you have to ask, what can we possibly do about it? Well, that brings us to a section all about solutions. It's about how we can take back some control and practice something called field hygiene.
So what is field hygiene? Think of it as the art of clearing all this interference. It's a conscious practice to reestablish your own energetic sovereignty. The goal is to fight back against the effects of a world that can make our inner state feel noisy with confusion, leaky with exhaustion, and sticky with those negative thoughts we just can't seem to shake. And what's so great about this is that the tools are incredibly practical. They're accessible to everyone. We're talking about things like box breathing to calm your nervous system, grounding, literally walking barefoot on the earth to sync back up with its natural field, even listening to specific sound frequencies, consciously letting go of looping thoughts, and practicing gratitude are all seen as simple but incredibly powerful ways to retune your own field.
And this really gets to the heart of the mindset. Field hygiene isn't about building some kind of defensive wall around yourself. It's really about practicing clarity in your own energetic signal, your personal waveform, so you can resonate with who you really are, no matter how much noise is out there.
This leads us to our final and maybe the most profound defense of all. Let's explore the ultimate meta skill for keeping our cognitive liberty, and that is simply becoming conscious of consciousness itself. And what's so fascinating here is you see this incredible convergence of ideas from totally different traditions. On one side, you have a modern metaphysical perspective that says the observer and what's being observed are really a unified field. And on the other, you have an ancient Buddhist text, the Dhammapada, which says mind comes before all things. Both of them are pointing to the exact same truth. The real power is in witnessing your mind, not being lost inside of it. So this all comes down to one core, powerful idea. When you can cultivate the awareness that you are the observer of your thoughts and not the thoughts themselves, you create a space. And in that little space, external manipulation just loses its power. It can't really get a grip on you. You can't be easily nudged or rewritten if you're watching the whole show from a place of calm, detached awareness. This is the real foundation of cognitive freedom.
And that brings us to our final question. If you think of your life, your consciousness, as this energetic work of art that's being created in every single moment, who or what is holding the brush? In this new invisible battlefield, that might be the only question that truly matters.